This is my answer to everything.
Hey guys and gals, welcome to this week's Pre-Foreclosure Tip of the Week. Again, Chris the Drummer Bose and Bob LaChance here. Getting back to you again, just a little plug on our sites. We have a new site, shortsaledailynews.com. Make sure you guys go check it out. It's got the latest, greatest tips and tricks, both video and also written articles. It's fantastic. Sign up for the actual monthly newsletter, drip campaigns. We got a bunch of giveaways, so it's actually unbelievable. Anyway, this week's pre-foreclosure tip of the week, we're going to go over how to train attorneys and title agents at the settlement time. Because they, believe me, they screw up a lot of the deals and take a lot of money out of our pockets.
Right.
Okay, whether it's on the retail or wholesale side.
And obviously ruin it for everybody else. If it doesn't close, it hurts the seller, the agents, and
Exactly.
everybody. So.
Exactly. So it affects the whole transaction in general. So Chris, if I was to ask you, what do you think the big shortfall is within title companies and attorneys and how to train them correctly without, quite frankly, pissing them off? What would you do?
Well,
Or what do you do?
First off, I mean, attorneys are, a lot of them are they're gonna. I don't want to say prideful, but they're gonna have this like, well, I'm an attorney. I've been through years and years of school. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do a real estate closing. So I just very gingerly just say, just remind them, just make sure of what you need to do as we approach settlement and even immediately after settlement, and those things that would be, get the final HUD. Some lenders such as Countrywide, they require the final HUD be sent to them 48 hours before the closing. That's one of the first big things.
Right. So if they're going to get the actual last water meter readings from a real estate agent, they have to do it at the beginning of the week, or at least 4 days, 3 to 4 days prior, so they have time to get the HUD 1 settlement statement in. They have to make sure they get the final taxes, right? If they're not incorporated within the mortgage. Okay, so they need a lot. They need to do a lot of those things that we forget about when we're going to closing, and they, quite frankly, are a little too lackadaisical.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of them, I deal with attorneys all the time who send the HUD when it says in bold letters, big bold letters in the approval letter, 48 hours prior to closing. They're calling me up on the day of the closing saying, "Oh, we just got the final HUD together and we just sent it to the lender." And I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do? You didn't follow simple directions. I mean, what do you want me to do?"
All right, so let me ask you a question. If this deal blows up, what do you do to protect our company?
Well, I essentially I make sure I explain to them. I say it's right here in black and white in the approval letter.
So you take that approval letter and when you email the attorney or title company back, you copy in the seller and the agents, correct?
Right. So everybody understands I did my job, and I did it as best I could. I did my job in full, completely, and that to make sure that they understand that this was the attorney that dropped the ball.
Because you got to look at this. If the property doesn't close, the seller is the one who really gets hurt. Obviously, everyone else in the transaction loses money. Okay, understandable. But the seller's the one that gets hurt. And you don't want that coming back on you as a short sale negotiator, even though you did your job. A lot of times it's the title company or the title agents and also the attorneys that actually screw up these deals. So we got to make sure that, guess what, we are covered.
Right, and just so you guys understand, we're not. I mean, obviously, if the blame needs to fall on us, it'll fall on us. We won't try to hide from it, But we just want to understand because, as some of you may know, you can get into. I mean, you can have sellers who decide they want. They could be sue happy, and something doesn't work out, and they're going to be looking for somebody to crucify.
Transparency and disclosure in our business. Think about it. Every real estate broker out there, it's all about disclosure, right?
Right, exactly.
So they have all their disclosures signed. We have a loss mitigation negotiator agreement signed every single time we're doing deals, whether they're our own deals or for real estate agents, attorneys, or other investors.
Exactly. And so, obviously that's one of the first things that a lot of attorneys or title agents miss. Other than that, the other tasks that I have to constantly, and this is what I spend, the last few days before the closing and the first 2 or 3 days after the closing, every day calling or emailing the attorney or title agent to say, send the final, once the closing happens, send the final HUD, send the funds, send the signed approval letter immediately.
Send a copy of the wire.
Right.
Give us a copy of the wire, because loss mitigators want a copy of all of that, even given to us, and we scan it to them. Okay, that's huge. Even though obviously they want to get it, but they also want to close their books too.
Exactly.
So until they get a copy of the HUD-1 settlement statement and a confirmation of that wire, they can't close their file.
Right.
Right. So that is absolutely huge. So a lot of it has to do with the checklist you give the attorneys or title companies up front and managing them along the way, so they really don't get pissed off at you.
Exactly, and it's just, again, at the beginning when I said, kind of approach it gingerly. You never want to go to an attorney and title agent and say, in kind of a condescending fashion, where you're going to say, oh, you need to do this, as if to imply you're an idiot and you don't know any better. Make sure you approach it gingerly, so that you're keeping in front of them, you're reminding them of this, but you're not kind of insinuating that they don't know how to do their job.
Sorry about the little break in the action there, Chris. I didn't mean to screw you up.
No worries.
But I know that was great. That was great. I wanted to end this on a little email we got from actually a great short sale negotiator here in the state of Connecticut, Jim Dawes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good dude, great guy. He actually works his butt off. Just got an email, okay? So I printed it up. This is in bold letters. Listen to this. Just had a negotiator at Chase say that our client was trying to do a loan mod, and just a little background story on this one. He actually has been working on this deal for about 6 to 8 months. Okay, 6 to 8 months. Let me go back to this. And they didn't have our authorization on file. And there's a big bold letter after that that says, "Bull, you guys can figure that out," which is 100% wrong. It said even though we had just called the last 45 days every single day and gotten this assigned to a loss mitigator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Long story short, the negotiator called the homeowner and pressured her to make a decision right there to do a deed in lieu. And it says something snakes. And just blew up my deal. Watch out for Chase. So this is just hot off the press. So I wanted to tell you guys that what you need to do is right up front, talk to your homeowners. Let them know that when you're working on a short sale, that the short sale is going along at its path. You actually just got a call today, right?
Right.
Do you want to tell them about this call real quick?
The call that I got had to do with that the homeowner called in. I've been in communication via email with the negotiator for the last...
That Cheshire property. Is that the Cheshire property?
Right,
Okay.
yeah, for like the last couple of months on this thing as far as where it's at. Spoke to her about a week and a half ago, and she was just waiting on the BPO to come back, and it would then be sent to the investor. And
It
the
was
PMI
Fannie
company.
Mae and PMI company. That
Right.
was the story. Okay.
Okay.
Fannie Mae, PMI
Yeah.
company. We just talked about this morning. We got a million deals we're working on, so I apologize. But it was sent to the PMI and Freddie Mac. Or was it Fannie Mae? It was Fannie Mae deal. Okay, and go on.
So yeah, so essentially, and she had said, okay, it's with them now, and then waiting for their decision. And the seller actually called a listing agent who called me, but basically said that he called into the bank and was told by somebody, yet to find out who that somebody is, that the short sale package was still incomplete. So
they needed some sort of missing documents, even though this deal we've been working on it for how long?
3 months.
3 months, and it's already in pretty much almost settlement.
Right.
So pre-settlement. So
Right.
just knowing that's aware, so you guys can set the proper expectations with the homeowner.
Yeah, tell the homeowner that they're likely going to, that once the file gets assigned to a negotiator, that's the person that they need to be talking to get accurate information. If they talk to anybody other than that negotiator, I can tell you probably 97 or 8% they're going to be given wrong information.
98.1%.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 82%. But anyway, all right, that was awesome. Hey, that's this week's pre-foreclosure tip of the week. Guys and gals, I know we always talk about this. Check out ManageMyShortSale.com. It's probably the best, industry best, short sale and loan modification management tool out there. So check it out, ManageMyShortSale.com. Again, some other free sites that we have, full content just like this, ShortSaleDailyNews.com, and also, obviously, PreForeclosureDailyGrind.com. So anyway, you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll see you guys next week.